this is technically a Barnes & Noble, but in my defense, I didn't know libraries close at like 5 p.m., so I'm a little bit late to go to a normal library, but this is basically the same thing, and I'm going to be doing a little bit more of an in-depth look at a Barnes & Noble library, bookstore, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm going to be taking you around a little bit more, doing some page flipping, just taking you a little bit more in-depth around a book, library, store, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, make sure you guys like the video if you do like the video, and yeah, we have a lot to check out today. We have magazine, games, books, non-fiction, fiction, everything here, so I'm really excited to have a little relaxing walkthrough of this store. Maybe I'll even do some page flipping right here in this comfy little spot, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in front of the store, at the beginning of the store, you could say, at the magazine, little post up here, which might be my favorite part of bookstores, libraries, Barnes and Nobles, yada yada yada, because magazines nowadays are super expensive. They're like $15 to $20 just for one single magazine. I just like to look at the pictures, so I like to go through here and give a little flip through of just some of the cool magazines that I see. Here's actually a really cool one that is just all about Messi. Yes, if you like Messi, they actually have a magazine just full of Messi, which I think is actually pretty fire. They have obviously your random, men's one where they have a bunch of sports and outdoorsy things. They have a bunch of other ones like cookware and whatnot. It's a nice little area to go walk around through. For basketball stuff, actually, they have the Kicks magazine, which is a magazine that just serves the purpose of shoes, which for some people, you might really like it. I'm not super into shoes, but I do find them to be pretty fire. I wish I had the funds to support that, but man, shoes can be really expensive. Of course, they have the Classic Slam magazine, which if you don't know is the pure basketball NBA magazine. I used to have a subscription to Slam for quite a long time, and boy, do I miss getting the posters and hanging them on my wall. But yeah, they have the Slam magazine with Nikola Jokic. Maybe I'll end up getting some magazines and doing a nice little flip through of some of the sports magazines that they have. What do you guys think about that? Is that a good video idea? Let me know down in the comments. Taking a look at the other side, we actually have some stuff here from another video that I did recently about some word searches, puzzles, crosswords, just your typical ones like that. Then they have more of an entertainment section, music, National Geographic, and good old Time magazine, which actually Jalen Hurts was on the cover of this one right here. It was actually an article written by Peyton Manning, which I think is actually pretty fire as well. Pretty cool. On the other side, we have some more entertainment ones, which are pretty cool. Like, of course, Halloween is right around the corner, so they just have a magazine just for Halloween, which is actually my favorite Halloween movie. So that's a pretty cool one. You have music down there in the rack below me. We have movies like Star Wars, which is kind of cool. It's an entire magazine talking about Star Wars, which, boy, do I miss Star Wars and like movies coming out all the time. That was a fun time. Speaking about movies, you have a Disney one, which just goes through like the history of Disney. Pretty cool. Yeah, magazines, I love them, but boy, oh boy, are they very expensive nowadays, man. It sucks. Okay, so we have here just a couple of they call it the young adult non-fiction graphic novel area, which is kind of cool. They just have like a bunch of just like mainstream stuff. It looks like some Avatar themed books, which Avatar is really great. Obviously if you haven't seen it, make sure you do. They have Five Nights at Freddy's, which is definitely also pretty wild. They have some like Disney books as well, like these Disney What If books, which are actually kind of cool. Like they have this book like What If Cinderella Never Tried on the Glass Slipper. So it kind of has like a big like what if story around it, like a bunch of like very popular Disney stories. I've only ever like seen one ever, and I thought they were pretty good, but I never really think I'd buy one, But a lot of other young adult style books. Yeah, some more the young adult books, and then we just have some classic romance books. It seems
which I guess they all look the same. I wonder if these are all by the same author or not, but it definitely looks something like that. So let's keep moving on over to the nerdier side of the store, or the cooler side even, the manga side. We have Dungeons and Dragons, Punches, Traps and Dungeons for, I'm assuming D&D players maybe, Pathfinders, just everything for game sets it looks like, and a bunch of other things to help get you really into doing some Dungeons and Dragons. And of course they have the manga side of things, where manga is pretty fun. I never really got super into it before, but I know like what it is. They have a bunch of different things for different major brands, like obviously like Assassin's Creed, and obviously like a bunch of other smaller ones. You even have Attack on Titans manga, which is really cool. But again, maybe one of these days I'll get more into it. We're gonna have to find that out though. I have read a Kingdom Hearts manga before, which is kind of funny. Ooh, they have Dragon Ball Z, which is honestly really cool. I never really got super into the anime of Dragon Ball Z, but I played the video games a lot, which is kind of where my knowledge of Dragon Ball Z comes from, which I probably isn't really all that great, but yeah, pretty cool. A lot of other ones. They have some romance ones. Oh, they have some like video game ones here, like Halo, Mass Effect, Stranger Things, which is kind of cool. They made a Stranger Things manga set. That's pretty wild. They have Dune. They have a Dune one for that movie that's coming out soon. They have some Star Wars stuff. Chronicle of the Jedi. That sounds interesting. You can't even read it. That's how exclusive it is. Which is kind of nice. Now this is like the science fiction fantasy side of the store, which I'm sure has a bunch of different ones that are made up. There are some actually like, big named ones like Dune, like we were talking about before, which is actually was actually a pretty good movie with the Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet. It's actually a pretty fun movie to watch, to be honest. But yeah. Oh, they have the Star Wars Visions, which was actually on Disney Plus, which is really cool that they put into illustration. That's actually pretty impressive. They actually did that. So, they have Halo as well. They have the Avengers video game in a book, some other Avengers stuff as well. They have Loki as well. So like some even Marvel stuff that's pretty fire. I guess this is where they keep all their Disney, Marvel, umbrella, Star Wars stuff. It's a map book. That's pretty interesting. Obviously Marvel is a super in-depth thing. Of course, some people think it's pretty boring nowadays, but that's obviously like just from what the movies and whatnot show you. They have a big Star Wars book, the art of Rise of Skywalker, the big timeline book for Star Wars as well, for all you Star Wars nerds out there who loved to see like the more in-depth story or everything. By the way, I just got a paper cut from tapping all these books. This place is very, 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 very dangerous.
This little part of the store was a little bit more populated, so I'm back here doing a little voiceover. But it is the music and entertainment section, which of course just has music and entertainment, like movies and DVDs and whatnot, which is kind of cool. We have some Pop Funkos, whatever they're called. They put some pretty cool characters, of course. They have some Halloween themed ones, movie themed ones, some just pop culture themed ones, which are pretty cool. I've said this for years that I'm so happy that I never got into doing Pop Funkos, because I would have an addiction to them because they are so cool. And they literally have one for everything. Literally everything. Taking a look at the music section. Obviously there was someone over there, so I don't want to go over there, but here we have Tyler, the Creator, which is an artist I really enjoyed back in the day. And sell plain DVD CDs anymore. It's actually kind of crazy. I actually didn't know that Owen Wilson starred in like a Bob Ross bioflick. Interesting. Might have to get that one to watch. Let me know if that was good or not. But yeah, I would actually really like to get DVDs and just have them physical copies. I actually don't own a physical copy of a movie. I think really at all. I have a couple of the Star Wars ones and maybe a couple like the Marvel movies. But that's really about it. Everything else is just digital. Over here we have the CDs, which also something that's very, very rare to find nowadays. A CD player or just anything that can be used to play CDs. I don't think that most cars nowadays even have CD players on them, which is pretty funny to think about. Anything else? That's pretty much the entertainment section. It's just a bunch of movies and music. It's kind of fire. Cute little plushy guy there, very cute. We have the humor section of the bookstore, which has like a bunch of like comic, biographies and dad jokes, which is always really nice. Who are the greenest presidents in U.S. history? The Bush. Okay, these are really bad.
Now we're over to more of like the actual like board game section of the place, but we have a couple like books on CD, which are actually kind of cool. I never knew they actually had these before. That they sell like audiobooks. I didn't know that. They probably pretty obvious, but it's kind of cool. They have that. They have like your reference books for like blah 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 for dummies. Sort of like teaching how to learn languages and different things, which is kind of cool. Like I said, they have like a couple of like back to school game stuff, which is kind of nice. Kind of like activity books that you find in a lot of places. We have puzzle books. Ooh, I Spy. That is a book I have not seen in a really long time. See, like the I Spy a Rabbit, and you obviously have to like look through the page and find where the rabbit is, which I think it's right there. And then you go to the next one. 11 bears in all. Wow. Yeah, they count 11 bears. It's pretty wild, but yeah, this is just a classic book. That's for sure. Another dad book. Trivia for the toilet while you're doing your business in the bathroom. I definitely love these kind of styles of books, kind of like the fancier, sort of eerie types of books. Ooh, 20 minutes or less air fryer. That's a good one. A cocktail book as well. Restaurant secret recipes. That's really cool too. Very cool, very cool. Some more of the board games. We'll get over there in a second though. Your witchcraft stuff, which again, Halloween is right around the corner. Going to be doing a lot of spooky Halloween themed videos throughout the foreseeable future. I'm gonna actually come back here and do some video spots right here, just so I'm in the corner and no one will bother me, hopefully, over here. History of like war, weapons and stuff, kind of interesting. Okay. Ooh, some cool little images of different major cities like Paris. That's actually pretty fire. I hear Paris is actually a little bit overrated, but I would still love to go for sure, for sure. Okay, we have the strategy games area, which sounds pretty interesting. Of course, like your classic Rubik's Cubes and all the craziness of Rubik's Cube even is nowadays. Some wooden block puzzles, just puzzles out the wazoo. Some other random board games as well. Stratego is definitely one of my favorite board games of all time. If you haven't played Stratego before, definitely give it a shot.
Now I do know actually a lot of actual libraries do sell and rent out board games. At least the one that's in my local area does that, which I think is honestly really, really dope. Board games are something that are one of my favorite things to do. Of course, when they involve a little bit of alcohol, it makes them a little bit more fun, but I love playing board games like Life and Monopoly and Stratego and Sorry. Some great, great board games, of course. They have some Disney-themed ones, which, man, this store is ran actually made, or I guess a card game, whatever it is. It's actually made by a YouTuber who does drawing videos, and a Disney trivia game. Has a lot of questions for Disney. I might need to pick that up and play it sometime. I think I'd be pretty good at it. Anyways, we have the kid section, which is kind of always a really cool spot to go check out some of the kids' books that they have. Definitely a lot different than what kids' books used to be back in my good old day. They kind of have kids' books about everything. Actually, I like that. They'd have like 5-minute book sections. That's actually really cool. Like just little quick 5-minute short stories of a bunch of different things. And they have some more toys over here as well, which is always really cool to see. If you're into Legos and not really expensive Legos, Barnes & Nobles, and I think maybe even some other places have some really nice, cheaper selections of Lego sets, which is really cool. We have some of the sports section as well, which, of course, a nice little Kobe Bryant biography, which is really, 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 really cool. I did read a pretty good chunk of one. One time I was in a Barnes & Noble library, well, let's call it here now. That was really nice. I probably should have bought the book, but I don't know. We have a Portland Trailblazer book here in the sports section talking about the championship year of the Portland Trailblazers back in 1977. They have a couple of other really cool books here. Yeah, I mean, the sports section is actually something that's really underrated in a lot of places. Definitely if you're a sports fan, go read some of the backstories of some of your favorite stories, your favorite teams, your favorite athletes. I mean, man, some really great stories are out there. Just gotta find them. I have here the 75 NBA book, which I'm assuming is just... Oh, I thought it was just like a book that talked about like the top 75 players in the NBA of all time. It actually just talks about the entire history of the 75 years in the NBA, which is honestly kind of crazy. It's not just a book just talking about just the players. It talks about like literally the history of the NBA. Like even talk about Dolph Shays back in 1955, which is actually pretty wild to think about. Yeah, it literally just goes year by year talking about the best players of each year, what happened that year. Lakers-Celtics rivalry, of course. The 1992 NBA Dream Team. That's honestly really cool. This is a book I actually would really love to have. But it's like $40, which I don't know if it's really worth that much. But maybe if you guys want like a video on this kind of stuff, like I've been saying, I love doing like very traditional ASMR videos where I just read and flip and do page flipping and things like that. But, you know, I don't know if you guys really like that kind of stuff. I like very simple videos like that. Ooh, 2011 with MVP Derrick Rose. We have the Miami Heat Heatles. Ooh. And of course LeBron James comeback. That is a really, really good one as well. The evolution of the three-point shot, the global game. What else are we on? Role players of 2020 with the Toronto Raptors, who are maybe one of the deepest teams in history, winning the championship. 2021, they just titled it Giannis, which of course there might even be another Giannis year this year. Now that Dame is there, and of the very end of the book, they actually have the All-NBA team list, which is pretty fire. So that's really cool. Crazy. Okay, they're getting a little bit more at the toy section, because of course I do love toys. At least looking at them, they're pretty fun. More of the Legos that they sell here, they pretty much have everything from like the traditional Legos to the actual themed ones like Marvel and Star Wars, which is always really cool. They have Minecraft as well. Those are, that's me, my feet, hello, hi, hello. Anyways, they actually had a pretty cool selection of like those, what do you call them, like the smart toys, the toys that would be at like the book fair at school or at museums in the kids section and toy section of like museums and stuff. They had a lot of these, like the crystal growing things or the fossil digging sites. They actually had a lot of them here, which now that I'm a little bit older, they actually sound pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, I actually wouldn't mind doing one of these for a video, like building a lava lamp. And we just have like some history of religion books, which I'm sure are definitely a great read. Personal growth book, which is pretty cool. We have a 30% happier in 30 days. A quick start to a happy, healthier you.
I'm sure this, probably what, a 200-page book, probably just says, hey, exercise and go outside more. That's probably all it says, which is a good start. Exercise, go outside, and eat healthier. It's a good little Jake Paul ASMR one. That's a crazy title to a book, I'm not gonna lie. If you saw it, you saw it. We have a diet and nutrition's book, kind of like cooking, kind of just whatever else, kind of just telling you like, hey, here's what's actually in your food. So if you want to take a look at some Alfredo sauce, you can take a look at the maybe more truthful, honest things that are in them, or how sugar is in basically everything that we eat. And this looks delicious. I would definitely love to eat that for sure. Different books, health and wellness. Nothing too crazy. Some more cookbooks that just seems like your traditional ones, like of course like Betty Crocker's. It's a classic. I definitely love. Ooh, they have a Simply Fancy book. This is something that I think I would love, because this is my kind of style of food. I like very simple things, but made in a very nice way. I don't like a lot of extravagant things. I like simple and fancy, and that's kind of like a good way to describe the style I like my food. Some more just random books there. Cookbooks. Guga. Breaking the Barbecue Rules. Oh, here's a Gordon Ramsay one. It's like a traveling one, though. Looks kind of interesting. And lots of other ones. The official Netflix cookbook. I'm assuming these are things from, I don't know, different shows, maybe? Oh yeah, it is, because this was on Netflix, and now it's in a cookbook. So that's pretty interesting.
And just like that, we basically made our way through the entire store. This is the left-hand, or I guess right-hand side of the store, wherever you're entering or exiting the store from. It's the checkout area. They have a cool little puzzle selection and a lot of like gifts that you can get people, like candles, gift bags, a lot of like decor as well. I didn't know they actually had this kind of stuff in here, which is kind of cool. But anyways, that's basically it. Now again, I am super sorry that this isn't technically a library. It is a bookstore. Library. What's the big difference, I guess? But I definitely did have a lot of fun filming this for you guys and taking a little tour. If you guys want like a traditional library, I don't really know what the big difference would really be besides just it being a lot smaller and probably a lot more boring. But hey, I think this is a good little start to this really cool little area. So they have some of the more newer releases, some new non-fiction books. So shout out to all the authors out there making some new stuff. I see Elon Musk one, and oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, if you're a big Marvel fan, Scott Lang, aka Paul Rudd, the book inside Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is actually a real book you can read. Scott Lang is a published author. He actually has like his own page on Amazon. Like the author, Scott Lang, is a real author. It's kind of funny. It's like a real book, but it's made in like the MCU. If you really want to read, Looking Out for the Little Guy, the book that was in the movie, they have it published, which I think is super funny. I might have to pick up that book sometime and read it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, this was a lot of fun, guys, and hopefully you guys got a little bit relaxed. And yeah, we'd love to maybe do this again sometime. That's basically the entire library. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And yeah, I love you. Make sure you like the video.